Using a real life deal in Panama City, Florida, I'm going to show you on this video how to wholesale a short sale. Now, if you don't know, a short sale is a type of bank property. What it is it's when a seller is upside down on their loan, and instead of waiting until they go into default and lose the property to foreclosure, they proactively negotiate with the bank to sell the property for less than what is owed on the property. Now, in this example, this is a property that we have currently under contract. It's actually a deal that my son Nathan found. It's his first contract. Leave a comment and say, way to go, Nathan. You are a flipping genius. He made this offer. It was on market for $157,000. We have a signed contract for $70,000, more than half of the asking price. The borrower owes $136,000. So we signed an executed contract with the seller for $70,000. That's being presented to the bank, and we're hoping that we can get this done in about 60 days. That's what the agent is telling us that the bank is telling him. Now, stay to the end of this video. I'm going to show you about an 8-minute clip of a call I had with the agent to go over exactly how to write the short sale offer to make sure that we do this correctly. So stick to the end and you can watch that live call with the agent. The reason why I want to do this video and what I want to share with you is how to wholesale a short sale, and here's why. All short sale properties, just like REO, bank-owned properties, have no assignment clauses. Banks will not allow you to do assignments. So what does that mean? Well, it means you could double close, which means we would purchase the property in the first closing, then we would turn around and do a back-to-back or next day closing with our cash buyer. That we could do. If we did that, we'd have to pay closing fees twice and possibly funding for the financing even for one day. That's called transactional funding. Now, I have a transactional funding company where we do 100% double closings. If you go to usejerryscash.com, you can learn how to get your first double closing funded for free. But there is a workaround, and that's what I want to talk about on this video. I want to show you how we're doing a workaround on this deal. Now, what's exciting is by doing this workaround, we can do a single closing, not pay closing fees twice, or have to possibly pay financing. And this is using what I call the LLC hack method. And what we're going to do is we're going to set up a designated LLC to purchase this property. So this is a brand new LLC. We're going to form the LLC. I set them up directly with the state on the .gov website. And then now that you have this LLC, you would then contract to purchase the property in the name of that LLC. Now, this is not an operating entity. You're not running your business out of this LLC. The LLC has one purpose: to contract the property. That's it. It doesn't have any other purpose. Once you set up the LLC, you're going to then contract the property in the name of that LLC. As the single member of that LLC, you are what's called a member, and you have 100% membership rights, which means you're the sole owner of the LLC. Now, once the contract is set up in the name of the LLC, all we're going to do is we're going to market the LLC for sale to a cash buyer. So we're going to go to a cash buyer. We're going to say, hey, I've got this deal. Here's the numbers. Do you want the deal? And let's say that your cash buyer says, yes, I want this deal. Rather than assigning the contract, we're not doing that now. What we're doing is we're selling 100% membership rights to the LLC. So we're going to tell that cash buyer, look, you're going to be buying the LLC. The LLC has the contract to purchase the property. And I have all the paperwork for this. Keep watching. I'll show you how to get it for free. I paid thousands of dollars to have a lawyer do this for me. I've done this strategy using the LLC method hundreds, probably thousands of times, because back when the market crashed in 2008, when I was wholesaling at that time, everything was an REO. All the deals I were doing were REOs. So I would set up an LLC for each and every property, then I would sell the LLCs to my cash buyers. Okay, so I'll show you how to do this, and I'll give you all the paperwork to do this. Now, once your cash buyer says, yes, I want the deal, you're going to sign an LLC membership rights purchase agreement. Because again, they're purchasing the LLC, not the property, and you're not assigning the contract, you're selling membership rights. So you're going to have a contract that says that. They're going to put down non-refundable earnest money, again, to buy the LLC. That earnest money then is equivalent to what you would charge if you were just doing a traditional assignment. So you're going to get $2,500 or $5,000, whatever it is, as your non-refundable earnest money to purchase the LLC. Now, how do you transfer it? On the day of closing, outside of closing, because this is not a real estate transaction now, it's a business transaction, which means selling the LLC is not part of the closing with the real estate company. This needs to happen at the same time, but right outside of closing. So traditionally what you do is you meet with your buyer. You say, okay, give me the rest of the money. You're about to walk into closing. Let's say it's a $10,000 assignment and they gave you $1,000 earnest money. They owe you $9,000 at closing or the day of closing. They're going to come, they're going to give you $9,000. You're going to hand them a full transfer of membership rights and an operating agreement. They then walk into closing as the new owner of the LLC. The operating agreement gives them authorization to sign on behalf of the LLC, and then they would walk in and close directly with the seller with one closing. Again, we did not assign the contract. The contract buyer never changed. It was the LLC in the original contract, and it's the LLC that's buying it on the day of closing. You simply changed who the membership rights are or who the member is of the LLC from you to the cash buyer. Okay, now, this isn't without some complication, obviously, right? Like there's some moving parts here. They're a little tricky because, again, it's not reflected on the closing statement at closing. It's outside of closing. The earnest money that the cash buyer pays would go directly to you rather than an escrow. It's a great hack strategy. I would not build an entire business around this strategy. But again, I did this hundreds and possibly thousands of times. And even today, when I get a contract that has a no assignment clause, this is one technique. So I've done this with probate deals where the probate attorney puts a no assignment clause. Certain states have no assignment clauses, or sellers will specifically say, I do not want an assignment clause. Bank properties have no assignment clauses. Anytime I have a contract where I'm not allowed to sign the contract, I'll do this strategy. Now, this could also apply if you're in a state that has regulation that's dictating that you cannot do the assignment, or maybe that you need a real estate license to do the assignment. This could be a possible workaround for that as well. So will I be doing a lot more LLC method? You better believe it, because regulation's coming. It's already passing in multiple states. So this is a great workaround for that. If bank properties become more popular, they're happening a little bit now. They're not overly popular. Like we don't see a ton of them, but I think we'll start to, if the market corrects at all, usually foreclosures go up. Short sales, I'm seeing some more short sales than I've seen in a while, like this deal here certainly is the case as well. One more lesson I want to point out on this deal was, this was on market. It was listed at $157 so that there was enough money to pay the agent closing fees and pay off the loan of $136. That's why it's listed at $157. This is not yet a pre-foreclosure, but it very well could be a pre-foreclosure, meaning the seller's upside down. And a lot of times when sellers don't want the property anymore and it's upside down, they stop making the payments and it goes into pre-foreclosure. Those are often a good time to do a subject to, where you can take over that loan, even if it's upside down, as long as the interest rate is good. In this case, it was just too far upside down, like 136. It's worth on a good day 90. So it's a little too far. It's a small 2-bedroom house, and the interest rate was not great. It was a high interest rate, so it just didn't make sense as a sub 2. So now we're doing a short sale. Again, this is why you want to have multiple tools in your toolbox so that you know how to handle situations like this. The other thing was, this was a great agent. We double dipped, which means that this agent is getting both sides of the commission. They're getting the list side and the buyer side, puts them highly motivated to work with us, as you'll see. Stay to the end and you can listen to the call that I had. Nathan made the initial contact with this agent. We decided that a short sale was the way to go. I coached Nathan along a little bit on how to do that. And then I jumped on the call and talked to that agent, and we walked through like how we wanted to write this offer and exactly the way to do this. And this LLC hack strategy, if you go to llcflipperkit.com, I'll give you all of the paperwork to do it for free. It's an entire kit for how to do this LLC flipper method. If you're in my Flipster system, then we actually do these for you for free. We'll set up the LLCs, we set up the operating agreement, the whole thing for you. If you're a pro or prime level member of Flipster, you can go to joinflipster.com to learn more about that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to cut to the live call I did with the agent, and hope you found this helpful. We'll see you soon. Good. Yeah, we wanted to talk to you about this property here real quick on Bay. This is, you said, approved for a short sale now?
So we reached out to the bank and they just said, hey, send us an offer in writing. They're like, you usually take about 60 days, but we should be able to get that worked out.
Okay, so We'll write up an offer, we'll present it, but then we've got to wait for the bank to approve it to even know if we've got something. Like, it's not an automatic acceptance.
Right. And then also I wanted to add, I plan on, when I send the offer to them, also sending pictures and then the state of the home all together to help us out as much as possible.
Okay. Yeah, because I've done short sales, and they can take a long time, and then you never know if the bank will accept that anyway.
Exactly.
So I'm just trying to think how we want to write this offer. Do we want to say it's good for a certain amount of time? I mean, what I don't want to do is 6 months from now they come back and say, okay, we finally got your number approved, and who knows where that property's at or the market. You know, how do you want to tackle that?
I think 60 days.
For approval or for closing?
For closing. I'm thinking 60 days.
You think you can get it done that fast?
I mean, I'm going to try my hardest.
Okay.
So that's what I'm thinking.
Can we write it where we have a 10-day contingency once the bank says yes? I mean, I need to walk it and get my head around what's going on, but I don't want to do that now if 60 days from now the bank says yes, and then we close 30 days after that, and then the property's sitting that much longer, and I'm going to have to go back over there again then if that's the case.
Right.
I think what we do is I don't go over there and look at it or anything right this second. We get the offer in. What was our offer, Nathan?
It was 70.
70. Once our offer is accepted, then I have a few days to go over there and just make sure nothing's going on. Are you okay with doing it that way, or how do you want to do it?
Yeah. So I'm glad you said that. So what I'll do in the additional terms is I'll just make it clear. I'll use some verbiage. I'll chat GPT some contract verbiage, but I'll make it sound good, and I'll just basically state that the inspection period doesn't start until the bank has accepted.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to say. Yes.
So that way where it's just cut and dry, super clear. And then we'll do a standard's 15 days. I can even do a 15-day inspection period.
I mean, I just need 10.
Sweet. We'll do 10.
How do you handle earnest money? Do we put that down now or after approval?
Yeah, that's the thing. So usually it's to be made within 3 days of the approval.
Okay.
So really, the contract doesn't start until they accept it. So what I'll do is I'll give them 30 days for time of acceptance on this offer. So then that way, if it does end up being 30 days, then we get 30 days to close. Honestly, I might put in this, I'm going to put it to be determined because we're not going to know.
I think you just put 30 days from bank approval.
Okay. Yeah, that works.
Because then, I don't even want to plan on it. I don't want to set aside the money for it, until we know we've got bank approval, and then let's schedule a closing. I think that's pretty normal, 30 days. Because the reason why also is gives us time to get contractors lined up, but I don't want to do any of that until I know we've got approval.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
So let me make sure I'm clear here. We're going to submit an offer right now. That offer is going to say from bank approval, we have 30 days to close. At the time of bank approval is when we'll pay the earnest money, within 3 days. And our 10-day inspection will start at the time of bank approval as well.
Correct.
Perfect. That's what we want.
Excellent. Sweet. This is cash, right?
Yeah, cash. Remind me, it's occupied, right?
No, it's vacant. It is vacant now. The seller left, I want to say about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so this is another reason why it's good to start the inspection after bank approval, because who knows what's going to happen with that thing sitting around vacant right now. I mean, stuff happens when a house is vacant.
Yeah.
So Nathan, does this make sense? We can submit any offer we want. It doesn't matter. The bank has to approve it, which means we have to go through this bank process with a short sale. If Ryan can get that done in 30 days and then close 30 days later, that's amazing.
That's a good investment.
I mean, but Ryan, the short sales I've done from start usually take 6 months. Have you talked to them at all?
Yes, and they said that I couldn't get all the information for the loan and all that, so I had to get my seller to call them, but she got it all worked out.
You are talking to somebody there?
She is.
Okay. Well, at least you've got open communication. Sometimes it's a nightmare just to get a hold of somebody.
She's making it to where I can talk to them.
Yeah, so Jillian bought it. Looks like she's got a 138 VA loan.
Yeah, her payoff was 136.
Yeah, she bought it in 2022, got a VA loan for 138 is what I'm showing. So yeah, she probably paid a little principal down. Anyway, definitely overpaid.
Yeah, she got screwed. Yeah, she got really screwed.
I don't know how VA did this loan.
I don't either. This thing just got thrown on me. Like, we had an agent working on it, and then he decided real estate wasn't for him and just quit, and this got thrown in my lap like 3 weeks ago when I first started talking to you guys.
Well, she's lucky she's got you willing to work on this, because...
Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's going to be a pain in the ass, but I feel for her, dude. That sucks.
Well, good thing you're double ending it with us, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to help her out for sure so she can move on.
You're a good agent. You take the little ones with the big ones, I guess, right?
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, definitely do. I like the big ones for sure.
We're your buyer. If you get anything distressed, call Nathan. We'll do our very best to get you a good cash offer.
Yeah, I've got a lot in the works with that. There's a lot of houses that are just straight up shitty. I mean, they need work, and the people who own them, they don't have the money to do it, but they can still get out from under the house,
So sit down with them and say, hey, I work with an investor. They can come in here and take it as is, cash, close quickly, get some money in your pocket, and be done with this thing. And then also keep in mind, too, if someone's upside down, if the terms make sense and we can cash flow it, we can take over loans. Like, we'll pay over value if the interest rate's good and we can take over a loan. We do that all the time.
Okay. I will keep that in mind. Yeah, that's good to have a contact that does that.
We just did a deal where we were like, price we're buying it at was like $30,000 over the actual value, but it made sense because we got to take over a low rate. The payment cash flowed with the current rents. We brought enough cash to the table to pay the agent commissions, closing fees, and put, I think, $5,000 in the seller's pocket on an upside down property. You're never going to do that if you don't get creative.
Yeah, that's true. So it should be a slam dunk. I don't see why they would try to haggle on that.
Let's see, but send that over to Nathan. We'll sign that and get that in front of them and see where it goes.
Well, I'll get this put together and I'll send it over. I should have it to you in about 15, 20 minutes.
All right.
Awesome. Talk to y'all soon.
Appreciate you.
Yep, yeah, no problem.
Bye.